Welcome to Stress Busters. I'm so excited to have you here with me. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can build your success team. And a success team will help you reach your goals faster and with less stress. Now, if you know other people who can benefit from this, please do reach out and encourage them to join the conversation. Let me share with you our code word for today. Our code word for today is team. Team. And in a little while, I'm going to explain to you what you can do with that code word to win a prize. But today we're going to be talking about success teams and how you can build a success team that will help you to reach your goals. We all have goals, things that we want to accomplish in our lives and things that we want to accomplish professionally or maybe in our career. And an effective success team can help you in every area of your life, wherever you're doing your goal setting. A team can help you stay accountable for your goals. So New Year's comes and goes every year. People make goals, but the difference between making the goal and actually achieving the goal is staying focused on the goal and overcoming the obstacles that come your way. And a powerful success team is a wonderful way that you can give yourself the gift of staying focused and motivated towards your goal. So again, I encourage you to reach out to people who you know could benefit from having a strong team, rooting for them and encouraging them to accomplish the things that they've set their minds to do. Encourage them to join our conversation today. There'll be a place where you can ask and have your questions answered. And I'd love to be able to respond to you and allow you to share your thoughts with the rest of the community. So let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Keisha Moore of Life and Focus Coaching, and I'd love to know who you are. So as you join in, please do type your name in the box. Let me know where you're calling in from. The way that this thing works, it keeps going back and forth, so sometimes it might be a delay in terms of me saying hi, but I want to give you my sincerest welcome right now to let you know that I really do appreciate you being here. I enjoy showing up every week and being able to feed you with my insights around how you can create a career and a life that you love. So let's get started in thinking about our success team. So your success team is a critical element for you in upgrading your life. So we've all heard the famous phrase, you are the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. So you're the average weight of the 5 people, you're the average financial standing of the 5 people, the average level of productivity of the 5 people. And that's because we are influenced by those around us. Not just teenagers. It's not just about peer pressure. It's that we are social beings and the people around us have a dramatic influence on who we are, on how we think, and ultimately on how we act. And so what a success team allows you to do is to use that knowledge to your advantage so that you start to intentionally shape your human environment. So the same way you can change your physical environment to give you more energy, to keep you focused, you can do the same with your human environment. You can intentionally organize your human environment in a way that's going to help you meet, achieve, and exceed your goals. And that's what a success team allows you to do. Now, this is the question that I want you to ask yourself. Is there someone else who is experiencing a higher level of success than me? However you measure success. I don't care if it's finances, I don't care if it's happiness, I don't care if it's, they get to travel all the time, whatever it is. Is it somebody in your industry, in your world view, in your circle, who is experiencing a higher level of success than you without the stress? It's an important question. The answer most always is yes, right? No matter what level we've achieved, there are other people who figured out how to do it more. And this is even more important than having more things. They accomplish all of these things with less stress. So that's something that, I know I'm striving for. It's something that I do a lot of teaching and training on. A lot of the clients that I'm working with are striving to have that life that they love, where you get to do the work that you find meaningful and without all the stress. And so if there is someone else who is doing this with less stress, that lets you know it can be done. And now you can go about figuring out, how can I accomplish that? And it starts with inviting those people into your social circle and building your success team around those kinds of people. So having a mastermind group is a formal way of building your success team. And a mastermind group is simply a group of people who come together on a regular basis for the purpose of supporting each other in realizing their common goals. And so all the feedback, all the insights that come up in that mastermind group are because we've all committed to work together to pull us up together as a unit, a kind of rising boat for all, a rising tide that supports all boats. So that's what a mastermind group is about. And there have been some really famous mastermind groups in history. The concept of mastermind group was first, coined or made famous by Napoleon Hill and his book Think and Grow Rich. And he talked about the power of a mastermind group because as he studied the life of Andrew Carnegie, he realized how central this mastermind group was to Carnegie's success. And then Napoleon Hill took it on for himself and taught all of his students to use mastermind groups. So I wrote down just a few of the famous mastermind groups that I found in my research, and I thought you might enjoy this. So there's this mastermind group called the Inklings, Inklings, and it's a group of writers and poets. And I'm going to read you the people in this mastermind group so that you can see if you know any of them. Now, mastermind groups are often very small, just about 4 to 6 people, and it's so that everybody can get that intense feedback. But here's the mastermind group of the Inklings. It includes C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, Owen Barfield, and Charles Williams. Right? So major writers, poets, changing the literature landscape. And not only did they know each other, but they actually worked together and helped to sharpen each other's skills. So, we talk often about iron sharpening iron, and being around people who are at the top of their game kind of causes you to rise up and step up your game. And that's what happens in a mastermind group. Another famous mastermind group is the Junto, Junto. And this mastermind group was started by Benjamin Franklin. And he used this group as his thought partners in pretty much everything that he did. And this mastermind group was responsible for creating the first lending library in the United States. And that's because they themselves owned so many books and had such a wealth of knowledge that they started the first lending library in this country. And they also formed the first academic team of the University of Pennsylvania. So you can imagine the powerhouse that was in that mastermind group. So there are all different types of mastermind groups. There are topic-based mastermind groups, so just fitness. You might be interested in fitness, and there's some mastermind groups that are just focused on, how do we learn more about fitness? And then there are what I call mission-based mastermind groups, where everyone shares a very specific goal. So perhaps running a marathon or training for a decathlon, that could be a mission-based mastermind group. And then there are business mastermind groups, which is where a lot of the research has come out around business-based mastermind groups. And these groups are focused specifically on helping people to grow and sustain thriving businesses. So regardless of what kind of mastermind group you choose to be in, I would encourage everyone to find a mastermind group for you. And that's because mastermind groups help you. They help you in terms of setting goals and holding yourself accountable to the goals that you've set. Every week or however often your group meets, accountability is a core part of a mastermind group. Mastermind groups also help you to think bigger about yourself and the work that you're doing, whether that's paid work or your volunteer activities, whatever it is you're doing. Mastermind groups help people to see that activity in a bigger light and be able to articulate why this is meaningful and important, and that in itself is motivating for you. Mastermind groups are also helpful in just giving you new learning. It's an opportunity for you to learn new aspects of whatever the topic of the group would be. Now, you know, last week we were talking about the value of lifelong learning and how lifelong learning helps you physically, it helps you mentally, it helps increase your happiness, it builds up your confidence. There's so many benefits that come with lifelong learning. I won't go over them all again, but just to know that mastermind groups are an important way in which you can engage in this practice of lifelong learning. Every time you come to the group, there is a new topic or a new challenge that's being explored, and you get to learn not just from your perspective, but from the perspective of all of the people in the group. And finally, mastermind groups help you in terms of giving you collaborative partners. Sometimes it can feel so lonely. You are trying and working hard at your goal, and sometimes it just feels like nobody cares. No one is as invested in you accomplishing this goal, and you might just let yourself off the hook easily and say, oh, what does it matter if I write those few pages today? Or what does it matter if I get up and go to the gym today? And so having a group of people who are your collaborative partners and who are with you in the process, cheering you on and letting you know it matters. It matters to you and it matters to me because I've taken your goal on and it's important to me. So those are wonderful benefits that you'll get from a mastermind group, which is a very formal way of building your success team. Now, if you're just joining in, I shared a code word at the beginning of our session today, and in a little while, I'm going to tell you how you can use that code word to win a prize. But right now, I want to pause and take any questions that may be bubbling up for you as we're talking about mastermind groups and talking about just more broadly how you can build a success team that allows you to reach your goals faster and with less stress. So if you have any questions, please do type your questions into the box and I'll respond to them as they come up. So one of the questions that I often get when I'm talking about mastermind groups is, how do I find one, right? So there's so many different ways in which you can find a mastermind group. I won't go through all of them, but I'll give you just a kind of quick overview, and you can do a Google search. So the first thing I want to explain to you is that some mastermind groups are free and some are paid. So you really want to decide what you're looking for. There are some mastermind groups that are virtual and some that are in person. And so you know yourself and you know what motivates you and what you need to sustain your engagement. So think through these things when you're thinking about a mastermind group. The great thing of a free mastermind group is it's free. And so you can check it out and see if it works for you. Some of the challenges with that is because it's free, everyone might not take it as seriously and they might not always show up. And really, with a mastermind group, you need to have consistency, both for yourself and for the other people. So you're making a commitment to your team, and we become a team. So that's one of the benefits that the paid groups offer. In addition, they also give you professional facilitation. But regardless of which route you choose, I encourage you to do your research and figure out, maybe identify 3 to 5 groups that might work for you, and then find a way to learn more about them and try them. So how can you find out what's out there? Where are some possible groups? The first thing is, not all mastermind groups are going to have the name mastermind groups in their name. So look for groups that are organized around something that you are trying to grow in or learn in or want to get better in. And so a group that's organized around a goal and that has a measure of accountability built into it, and a kind of structured opportunity for you to share your challenges and get your problems solved in a collaborative nature. Those are the key elements of a mastermind group. So it might not be in the description, but read the description to see if the group serves that purpose. So here are some places you can look. Start where you are right now on Facebook. Facebook has so many groups, and many of those groups are organized in ways that can serve as a mastermind group. They're organized around common goals and offering support and helping people to be accountable. If you have your favorite, Facebook communities, maybe you can write to the organizer of the community and say, do you have something that's a little smaller and that is for, the purposes of mastermind? So Facebook is a great resource to start your research. You can also check out forums. If you participate in any of the forums, you can write and say, I'm looking for some mastermind groups, or go to some forums that are organized around topic areas that you might want to have a mastermind group in. That's a great resource for you. You can check out Twitter, of course, Google, absolutely everything. I'd like to encourage you to scan Meetup. Meetup is a great way to have particularly in-person mastermind groups in your area. And so if you go through Meetup and you're looking in your area and there's nothing, you can even start one. So that's another resource for you. And finally, ask. You will be amazed what you can find once you start asking the people you know. Hey, I'm interested in learning more about this, or I'd like to get with a group of people who could help me achieve my goal in this area. Do you know anybody? Do you know any resources? And there's often just a wealth of resources that will be made available to you if you would but ask. So I actually am starting a mastermind group myself in a short while, and my group is focused on helping female entrepreneurs who are interested in starting or growing their businesses. So if that's you and you think you might be able to benefit from a mastermind group, reach out to me, let's connect. We can talk more about whether or not that's appropriate for you. But either way, I encourage everyone to reach out and connect yourself with some mastermind groups. It's a powerful way to supercharge your goals and to make sure that you can accomplish the goals that you set for yourself. So if you are just joining in, welcome. It is so great to have you here. I am so glad that you've taken out the time to connect with us, to figure out how you can supercharge your success and lower your stress. And right now, we're talking about how you can build a success team, a team that keeps you accountable and motivated and focused on accomplishing your goals. So if you know other people who can benefit from that, if you like what you're hearing, please do like this video. Please do and share this video with other people who could also benefit from building their own success teams. And I gave a code word at the beginning of our session. And in a little while, I'm going to tell you how you can use that code word to win a prize. So the prize that I'm giving away today is on, it's called How to Build, Evaluate and Build Your Success Team. And it's a 3 to 4 step process that I walk you through, where you look at all the different kinds of support that you need, and specifically looking at how that support can help you around a very specific or strategic goal that you have. And so once we know what your problems are, what your goals are, what the different kinds of support that you already have are, that kind of opens up for you, I can see there's some people who are already in my network that I'm not tapping into, that I can use, as a way of building up my support. And there's some other areas where I need some help and I don't know people existing in my team already to help me with that. So both of those kinds of information is valuable in helping you to build your success team, right? To know where you need additional support, where you need to expand your team, and how you can allocate or tap into some of the support that you already have. So I've prepared that resource. I'd love to give it to you for free. I'll explain to you how you can win that resource in just a little bit. But now I want to return to our conversation about building out your success team. And I want to give you some advice, guidance in terms of how you look for people or groups that will help you to build out your success team. So, I just told you there are lots of options out there, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed, and I want you to make a choice that is right for you. So I have 3 suggestions of things to keep in mind when you're making choices about what kind of group you want to participate in. The first is you want to look for individuals and groups that share a similar purpose to you, right? Individuals and groups that have a similar desire and similar levels of commitment. So I always come from the beginning, the foundation is purpose. What is your purpose? And as you connect with other people who have a similar purpose, that's what allows you to be able to support one another in a way that's collaborative and that's life-giving and that's expansive, and not one that's filled with conflict or kind of dragging each other down. So let's say I'm interested in improving my diet and I want to move sugar out of my diet. Okay, I don't want to join a mastermind group that's focused around training to be a bodybuilder. We don't share a common purpose. It's not appropriate for me. The kinds of information and discussions that they're going to have, sure, it is in general around fitness, but it's a very different purpose, and I won't be able to add value to the group, and they won't be able to add value to me. So starting with a common purpose, a shared interest, is a fundamental part of choosing the right group. Now, my first mastermind group, I actually started when I was in graduate school. And we all had, everyone in the mastermind group had the common goal, the purpose of completing our dissertations. And so that's what we formed the group around. And it was an amazing experience. And to this day, maybe 20 years later, we still meet up on a somewhat regular basis. We stay in touch. We're very good friends. We support each other professionally and personally. And all of us, 100%, completed our dissertation. So that's the power of a mastermind group, that you can get the support towards your goal, but you get so much more than that. It's not just about accomplishing your goal, but you get that emotional support, you get friendship, you get to work towards your professional goals as well as your personal goals. And so it can be successful if everyone in the group comes from a common starting point which is your why. Why are you here? What is it that you're hoping to accomplish? And so when you're looking for groups, make sure that you pick a group that has a similar purpose and commitment to you. The second thing that I want you to look for when you're choosing your mastermind groups is, it might seem somewhat contradictory, but it's really not. I want you to look for diversity. So I want you to have a common experience, but look for a diversity of experience and a diversity of skills. So a common focus, a common purpose, but a diversity of skills and a diversity of experience. And that's because you're coming to the group to find people who aren't exactly like you. They don't think exactly like you, and that's a good thing, because that's going to help expand the resources that you have now at your disposal to accomplish your goal. So if you're a very analytic thinker, it would be great to be in a group where there are people who are creative, right? Because they're going to help you think more creatively about some of the problems that you've been working on. Likewise, if you are very serious, it is probably helpful to have people in your group who take life with a little more lighthearted humor. Again, you share a common purpose, but you have a different approach to that. And you also have different levels of experience in different industries. So I would encourage you to look for groups where there are different kinds of people participating in the group, perhaps groups that cross different walks of life. And as a sociologist, there is very popular research by Granover on social networks. And he talks about, the power of social networks. Everyone knows who you know, your social capital, your social networks are really important in explaining a whole lot of life outcomes. Where you live, how much money you have, what quickly you can get a job, all those kinds of things. But one of the things that Granover's research shows us with social networks is it's better to have networks that cross types of groups than to just have all of your networks kind of densely in one group. So don't just hang out with people who are exactly like you, and they live in the same community, and they work at the same kind of job, and they think exactly like you. Because those are wonderful people to know, but you're just going to be running into the same ideas over and over again. So challenge yourself to put yourself in situations and in groups where you're engaged with people who aren't necessarily like you, who come from different industries, who have different backgrounds, who've lived in different kinds of communities, and they will bring that creativity, that diversity to the group, and you'll be able to benefit from it. So in the book Originals, what the author's talking about is part of what makes ideas original, or what makes people trendsetters, is their ability to take ideas that are kind of conventional in one industry and to transpose them into another industry where those things haven't ever been done that way before. And so you become immediately more creative and immediately more valuable by having connections to lots of different kinds of groups, different kinds of industries, and different ways of thinking. And that's one of the values that I would encourage you to look for when you're looking for mastermind groups. So the last thing I will share with you when you're looking for a mastermind group is to look for groups where people are focused on solving problems. Whether you're trying to pick a mentor or you're trying to just figure out who you want to invite into your personal success team, always look for people who are problem solvers. Now, why do I say that? Because what your success team is going to do is to help you solve the problems that are inevitable. There will always be challenges and obstacles to whatever goal that you set for yourself. And you need a team of people that can help you in overcoming those obstacles and those challenges. Now, if you don't have that and you decide to throw yourself a pity party and you're surrounded with people who love to throw pity parties, and they start blowing up balloons for you and playing the violin and telling you, oh, how awful it is and how terrible it is and how it'll never get better. And you might feel good at that moment, you might feel supported, but ultimately you're going to have to leave that space and take responsibility for what can I do in this situation to change the situation and accomplish my goals. If you don't make that transition, then you'll stay stuck in that place over and over again and going around in circles over and over again. And so many of us find ourselves stuck in that rut. And part of the reason why we get stuck is we're surrounded with people who reinforce that stuckness. So to get out of it, choose people who are problem solvers, people who will challenge you when you try to start feeling disempowered and feeling like I can't do it. People who will challenge you and remind you of how powerful you really are and how important your goals really are, and who will challenge you to rise up to whatever obstacles are in your way and think creatively with you about how you can overcome that. So that's why it's really important for you to surround yourself with people who, in your moment of weakness, aren't going to let you give in to that weakness and to stop, but are going to challenge you to be resilient and to rise up and overcome that challenge. So I want to pause again and open up the conversation to any questions that may have come up for you. If you are just joining in, welcome. It's great to see you and to have you here. I hope you're enjoying the information that you're getting from me. Please do like this video, pass it along to other people who you think can benefit from learning how to build a powerful success team that stands behind you and your goals. So if you have any questions, type them in the little box below and let me know, what you're thinking of when we're talking about building an effective success team. So a question that I often get, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, is how do I start my own mastermind group? Because you absolutely can. Right? You can go out and find a group that fits you and that you can plug right into a pre-existing group. But if you don't find a group that fits you, guess what? You can make up your own group. And I'm going to share with you how you can do that. Now, the first thing you want to think about when you're trying to make up what your mastermind group is going to be about is to think about, what is it that I want to learn? Where am I struggling? What is difficult for me? What's my goal? What am I trying to accomplish? And as you become clear on that, that can be the topic or the mission of your mastermind group. So if it's something that you're having difficulty with, guess what? There are other people having difficulty with that same thing. If it's something that you feel is really interesting and you want to learn, there are other people who want to learn that same thing. So identify what that thing is that you're working on, that you're interested in, and that you'd like to build your mastermind group around. Secondly, I want you to think about what is the frequency of your mastermind group to meet. So are we going to meet every week? Are we going to meet bi-monthly, on a monthly basis? Are we going to have weekend retreats? So give some thought to the frequency of meetings, because you want to be able to communicate that to the other people in the group so they know the time commitment before they sign on. Again, we want people to join our group who are going to be committed and come consistently. So giving some thought to the frequency and being able to answer those questions in advance will make sure that the people who are signing on know what they're signing on for and they're ready for the long haul. Think about how you're going to meet. Are we going to meet in person? Are we going to meet virtually, right? There's a lot of technology, and so you could have a mastermind group with people in different cities and different countries even. But you might want to have a mastermind group at the coffee shop down the street. And so think about how you want that group to be structured, whether it's in person or virtual, and then think through what are the resources that you need to make that happen. If it's going to be in person, you need a place. And so identifying what kinds of meeting locations could work for you. If it's going to be virtual, then you're going to need some technology. And so identifying the resources to make that happen is something that you want to give some thought to in advance. The other thing you want to think about is what is the structure of your mastermind group. So you want something where you meet frequently enough and the group is small enough and structure the conversation in some way that everybody gets a chance to share what they're struggling with, what their wins are, what their challenges are in a consistent basis so that they can get feedback from the group. And there are lots of ways in which you can do that. If you have any questions, you can inbox me and I'll give you some sample formats that you can think through and figure out which one fits your needs and meets for you. But again, you want to give some thought to the purpose of the group, to the meeting frequency of the group, to the meeting location of the group, and to the meeting structure of the group. So those are all kinds of things that you would want to think about. And again, I encourage you to take advantage of the guide that I've developed, Evaluating Your Success Team, because when you go through the guide, it'll show you some people who are already in your network that might be great people to invite to a mastermind group. And so, your mastermind group might start with some people that you know, and there are ways that you can expand to include people that you don't know. So I encourage you to take advantage of that resource. Now, there are very few things that will accelerate you accomplishing your goals faster than a mastermind group, a formalized success team, because relationships are so key not only to our productivity, but also to our happiness. And that's why I am sharing this resource with you. So let's just review all the things that we've covered in our conversation today. We've talked about how your success team can allow you to upgrade your life and accomplish your goals. But that requires that we are intentional about designing our success team. We've talked about how mastermind groups are a way of formalizing your success team and having it focused around a concrete goal that you have for yourself. We've talked about how you can look for people and or groups that share your common purpose, your focus, and share a common commitment to you. That's the foundation of deciding who gets into the success team. We also talked about the importance of looking for people who have a diverse set of skills and expertise than you. And that's part of what's going to contribute to the learning that occurs in your success team. And finally, we talked about the importance of looking for people who are problem solvers. And that's going to help keep you accountable and motivated and focused. So I encourage you to apply all of this knowledge to designing a team that will support you in creating a career and a life that you love. And I want to let you know that next month, for the entire month, we are going to be focusing on the science of happiness. So for the whole month of August, we're going to be talking about what all of the research in neuroscience and positive psychology has to teach us about how we can create happier, less stressful lives. And I'm going to share with you some happiness exercises that you can do to boost your happiness. We're going to get out of the office and I'm going to go just be out in the world and just celebrating life with you. So I am so excited about this series. I encourage you to join back with us next Monday, where we start our series on the science of happiness, and to invite others to join you in that process too, because we could all use a little bit more happiness. So stay tuned, and we'll talk more about that in the weeks to come. But meanwhile, let me tell you how you can win your prize. So as I've said before, I've created this guide. It's called Evaluating Your Success Team, and it will help you to identify what are the things that you need in terms of concrete support for you in accomplishing your goals and creating the life that you love. And so I give you 4 different kinds of support, and then I help you brainstorm who do you already know that can give you that kind of support, where are the gaps, and how can you use your existing support network strategically to help you towards your goal. And as we've talked about, how you can expand that support network to help you towards your goal. So I am so excited about this guide. It's something that I use in my coaching with my clients, and I want to give it to you for free. This is how you win that guide. So for everyone who inboxes me on Facebook in the next 48 hours with the code word, I'll send you that guide immediately. Now, the code word, I shared it at the beginning of the video. If you weren't with us at the beginning of the video, no worries. It is at the absolute beginning, within the first minute, so you can watch the replay and just get the code word and inbox me the code word, and then I will send you this fabulous guide, Evaluating Your Success Team. It has been such a pleasure for me to spend this time with you. I look forward to it every week, and I hope you do as well. I love sharing insights with you about how you can build a team of support to allow you to accomplish your goals. I know you have important things that you want to do this year, and I want to help you do those things. So please do take advantage of the resources, the insights that we've shared here today. Implement them in your life. I know they work, but they will only work for you if you use them, and use them to create the support and structure to catapult you to reaching your goals this year and every year. I want you to have a great day, and I wish you a life that is filled with meaning, purpose, and joy. Take care.